Hi, my name is Tim and I'm forgiven. I've come to the conclusion that the most important thing that needs to happen, as far as I'm concerned, is educating normal everyday Americans. And apparently normal everyday Americans, and this includes people who've been running business for years, small business. Some of them don't even understand that taxation is collected every time somebody makes a sale. Every time you make a sale, you're collecting tax money, whether it be sales tax, income tax, Social Security tax, property tax, or permit and regulation fees. Every time you make a sale, you're collecting income tax, Social Security tax, property tax, regulation fee, control fee. All the fees related to that sale are collected. Now, when you make a sale, you're not necessarily selling to wealthy people. You may be. So my point is, if you're selling to a wealthy person or you're selling to a dirt poor person, the price is exactly the same. Same product, same price. Now, if a dollar item has... I know you guys want to think that this is far-fetched, but if you just think about it, if you sit down and do the math, you will come to the same conclusion I have come to. 70% of every dollar spent is some form of tax, whether it's property tax, sales tax, income tax, regulation fee that's placed on business. 70% of that product's cost is tax money. So if you buy an item for $1 and the rich man buys an item for $1 and you're buying it from the same rich man, that rich man is paying his taxes with the rich man's dollar and the poor man's dollar alike. It's collected the same. Now, you're saying, well, what are you talking about? I don't do business with rich men. Well, you're doing business with different levels of wealthy businessmen across the board. You may go down to the Ma and Pa gas station where, Dad's running the gas station, or you may go down to the Ma and Pa grocery store, and he may not be making a huge amount of money. He may have a small clientele. Okay, but every dime he pays in taxes, he's collecting from the sales. The same as the most expensive item, the guy out there selling Cadillacs, he's collecting his money for the payroll tax every single time he makes a sale. And the price of the product is determined by the amount of taxation, control, regulation, and cost involved. See, that's the thing. Taxation is a cost. Taxation is a cost of doing business. If it costs me in taxes $1,000 every time I sell a product, I have to include that $1,000 on the price of that product. You need to get this out. Wealthy people are using transactions to pay their taxes. They're getting the transactions from everyday human beings. The more you charge the business, the wealthy man, the more the product is going to cost the poor man. So you raise that tax all you want, and all you're doing is sticking yourself in the backside. If you do not understand this, if you do not try to understand this, if you don't look into this, it's no wonder that so many people are poor. And it's no wonder there's so much class division. But you think that somehow, though, the wealthy man is paying more tax than you are. That if you're earning money, if you're a freeloader, and every dollar's given to you, then none of it is earned income. It's all tax money to begin with. If you're a freeloader, then you're not paying taxes. You are transferring somebody else's tax money back into their hands, and so some politician can get your vote. We have got to grab your neighbor, grab your coworker, every time you get, and just explain to them how taxation is an equal burden to every single working individual. Every single individual that earns money. Every time he's spending earned money, he's sending 70% of it to our government officials, whether it's local, county, city, state, or federal government. They all get a share. It's all tax money. It all comes out of every single purchase is taxed exactly the same percentage. It's exact for the wealthy man who buys as it is for the poor man who buys. If you do not understand this, you're going to think you're getting away with not paying taxes. And every time you spend your money, even for food, you got to understand this. The man who owns the grocery chain where you buy food collects money for his property tax. The grocery store where I live, a good-sized regular grocery store, it isn't unusual to say they pay $30,000 to $50,000 a year in property tax. That property tax, that comes to $3,000 to $5,000 a month. That's collected every time they make a sale. So you want their property tax to be higher? You're the one who will pay. You want their income tax to be higher? You're the one who will pay. It is figured in every single cost, every single transaction. The more you stay in ignorance, the more you will suffer, and the more I will suffer. I'm sick and tired, and there's a lot of wealthy people out there who have worked very hard to get their money. And at some point in time, if you're building wealth, you're going to get to the point where the bottom falls out of your income, and suddenly everything's flowing into the government, and you're going to say, wait a minute, I just started earning money, and you're taking the largest percentage, and it's like you're growing, and all of a sudden it stops, and what you're paying out just flies out. And it isn't right that at one point in time you earn $200,000 in your life, that they take 90,000 of it, or 70,000 of it, or 50,000 of it. 50,000 is ridiculous. It's wrong. It's wrong. We have to, this has got to be your theme song. If you don't agree with me, you need to prove me wrong. If you do agree with me, you need to talk to everybody. I'm talking to everyone. This isn't the only place. I talk to everyone about taxes. I talk to everyone about regulation and control. I talk to everyone about liberalism and how it's destroying our way of life. This taxation, I'm going to find a new avenue, a new way to explain it, to present it to you as often as I can until I start hearing some feedback around the corner, different spots. I start hearing that somebody else is chirping the same song. And then we'll have a choir. And we need a choir. We need a huge choir. We need a huge choir educating people. And the older they are, the harder they fall. They're bent in their ideas and they don't understand it and they'll never accept it. And the only way to get them to accept it is to keep explaining and make them keep thinking until they realize that all their life they've been paying taxes when they were broke. Every time they made purchases, they were paying the other guy's taxes. You were, I was, our children are going to bear a tax burden that is unbearable. It has to be controlled, stopped, it's got to be turned around, and it's up to you, and it's up to me, and it's up to all of us, and we got to do it now. God bless you.